Hey, you guys, welcome to your reading for this week. I'm excited to see what conversation Spirit wants to bring forward today. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Whitney. I channel divine messages through the archetype cards, through the tarot, through the angel tarot. I really have been loving these archetype cards, and I think it really lends itself to how spirit works through my brain and has me communicate. A lot of the ways I communicate is like through the lens of a psychotherapist. And I was kind of like tapping deeper into the energy of the archetype cards because I do read these for myself also. And what I was picking up was like there was this sense of acceptance and this ability to kind of like be more integrative about understanding the shadow versions or the shadow aspects of the archetypes that just move through us on different ends of the spectrum whenever. And I do feel like that's such an important integration for us on our journeys, our spiritual journeys, and like as we go forward, is to not be afraid of the shadow attributes and to it's just like there's darkness and there's light. There's yin and there's yang. It's like, I feel like, the days of shunning oneself or hiding from our shadow attributes, it's like, I feel like that we need to, leave that in the past and be more integrative about because how else are we going to grow, right? And like move forward if we can't say, okay, these are the shadow aspects that I'm working with, or this is part of my shadow work, or we all have shadow work, right? Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and get into the reading because I could talk about that for a while. So let's move in with the archetypes and see what conversation Spirit wants us to get into. Thank you, Spirit, for the greatest and highest good of all concerned. All right, first card up is the Samaritan card. We've seen this one before. The light attribute is refines your capacity to help others you would prefer to ignore. The shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So basically, Spirit's bringing forward this archetype within us where it's like we're helping people, even if it's almost like going through a lesson or a test and stepping up to the plate, even if it's something that we wouldn't prefer to deal with or we wouldn't prefer to give our time and energy to. This is like saying, all right, I'm going to exchange energy in here because one, it's the right thing to do, but it's probably going to balance out some of the energy. So, you can kind of like look around your world and see areas of your life where spirit may be presenting you with this opportunity to step in and create more balance. Almost even feel like you might be the one who needs to lead in this situation, even if it's like, oh, do I really have to? I don't know if I want to. And then with the shadow attribute for this archetype, it's about like doing it for the right reasons, right? It says, exacting appreciation or recognition for the help you offer. So like not necessarily needing to get those accolades or get the validation or like be patted on the back for it, so to speak. So it does kind of speak overall to this energy of like coming from the right heart, coming from the right place as we step forward to help other people, especially those people who I just heard Spirit say, maybe we feel like they don't deserve it. So that's interesting. It does feel, and that to me, that feels like a higher level. That feels like a transcending sort of the physical mind and the physical limitations, whatever, and going and reaching in terms of like, what does God want us to do? What is God telling you to do in this situation rather than like, what does our human mind think, lean not on our own understanding, like that kind of a vibe. We got the Messiah card, super powerful energy. The light attribute is serving humanity with humility. Well, there you go. The shadow attribute is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. So it's basically saying, let's not be conceited about it. Through the Messiah card and the light of the Messiah card, we are really showing up, right, for people with a sense of humility and not a sense of like resentment or, hey, I did this for you, you got to do this for me. This sense of, oh, it's big. I feel like it's kind of a big call out whoever this message is for, Spirit is really leveling you up and giving you a spirit, let's call it a spiritual upgrade. So there's a lot of a learning vibe that I'm getting here, because it is kind of a big call out, right? Because Spirit's saying like, hey, there may be someone out there like right now in your midst, or people that are going to be coming in, where it's like, you, from a human mind standpoint, you may not readily be able to identify like, oh yeah, this is so easy, let me just step in and provide assistance or help or take the high road. But Spirit is like really gearing you up to get this. So it is building into, I think, a greater and more profound sense of leadership beyond the physical world, I want to say. So interesting. Oh, we're not going to take all those. That was like a bunch of cards. Spirit, give us like 1 to 2 cards for this, please. All right. So mediator. Light attribute is gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of the argument. Look at her. Look at her. Look, 2 people, her in the middle. Okay. Gosh, what are you guys going through right now? Shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive or a hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. So there you have it. This is a reading about, this is something going on in your personal relationships, or something going on between you and people at work, where you may feel like you're in the middle of 2 opposing views or 2 opposing parties. It might feel like you have to make the right choice, make the right decisions. Either way, there's this energy of going higher in your leadership in order to do the right thing. I just feel like it's like Spirit saying, do the right thing. If you need to, I would say take a step back so that you're not coming from a place of reactivity. In fact, I would say take a step back to like quiet yourself from all that noisiness, quiet down that noisiness, tune back into Spirit. I guarantee this is a spiritual lesson, right? So that you can go to the next level. It's like adding another tool to your toolbox. And like, as you move into these higher levels of leadership, like going to this ultimate promised land, whatever that is for you at this time. I don't know. I feel like I want to pull one more archetype card, you guys. I feel like, okay, 2 came out, so that's fine. Okay, so the first one, companion, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Yeah. So some of you, this is personal, and others of you, yeah, it's going to be work. But I do feel like maybe for the greater amount of you, it's personal. The shadow attribute is betrayal by misusing confidence, loss of personal identity. I think we did get this one before in the past, the companion card. And then you got liberator, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. So you see how she's carrying that torch. So you're carrying the torch for yourself, but you're also lighting the way for the other people in this situation. So whatever the situation is, whether it's work or personal, there's this sense of, do the right thing, loyalty, unselfishness. So, unselfishness, that's just like ringing so deeply with this situation. Your lower self may have an idea of what it wants, like how it would want this to go. But I have a feeling that you're gonna have to surpass the lower self, right? The shadow, the ego aspect of the self that would want to move in a certain way and go higher, to think about your service, think about your humility, think about selflessness, and what would be the divine leadership move to make in this situation. Not everyone is going to be agreeing and happy and all hunky-dory with what this decision is, but I hear Spirit saying like, this is a matter of you being obedient in spirit, you really going with what God gives you as the higher ruling or the higher decision in this situation. Please do not let what others may see in your decision with this deter you from following through from what you get in Spirit. Because, going back to the Samaritan card, you guys, it says refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Okay. So I'm just getting that this is just not going to be an easy way to move forward in this situation. But I do, however, feel like it's being done for you, not to you. So again, like if you have any resistances, just give it over to God. You know what I mean? If you have if there's a part of yourself that you're just like fighting on within, you are definitely meant to lead and make the decision from a higher place in this situation. Um, Going back to the companion card, the more that I look at it too, and I'm just like listening in. If this is with a friend or with a lover, and you're trying to decide what the best thing to do, or maybe you feel stuck in the middle of two people, go tap in higher to what spirit is giving you. I guarantee that whatever that harder decision to make, but it's the right decision, you have to follow your intuition, right? And ask spirit. It may in the short term seem like, oh, maybe it's not the right thing to do, but I feel like in the long term, you are setting yourself free from something major here. And it feels like very self empowerment. So that's a theme you've probably been working on as well. And maybe these other people need to get on board with something. I just feel like it's going to benefit everyone involved, even if they can't see it right now. So go with what God is giving you. Don't transcend what you see in the physical, okay? Because you can't just go by that, you know what I mean, in this situation. This is higher realm stuff. Even the people who annoy you or who you're like, I would say just go beyond the ego brain with them and follow through. You're going to feel so much better on the other end of it. You're going to be like, yeah, I made the right decision for sure. Okay, so interesting. We'll see what's going on with you in your current energy. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, what do we have here, people? I feel like we've seen this character before. Interesting. So you got Seven of Cups, the Emperor in reverse, and the Hermit. Okay, so yeah, you're being led by inner wisdom here, but I do think that you're being very careful about how you move, how you make decisions in this situation. With the Emperor in reverse, I'm getting two messages. So one of the things here is about your leadership. I really do feel like Spirit is moving you into a higher place when it comes to your leadership. So, not shying away from the tough conversations, not shying away from um, speaking from a place of inner knowing, because with the Hermit card here, like that signifies to me that you have cultivated this inner wisdom. I don't know if you always trust it or not, but on the top of the Hermit staff is like the light, the lantern, and that does signify like lighting the way here for other people. But based on the wisdom that you have cultivated. So there needs to be a deeper honoring of that, I feel. With the Emperor in reverse, there's two messages. So you could be dealing with a leader who, it's like an older person here in your life who may be a little bit power hungry or has not been doing well and have not been ethical about their decisions. They might have an overabundance of masculine energy. They may be abusing power, right? But if it's not somebody else in your life, then Spirit's talking about you stepping into your leadership also. And why did I just hear that? I don't want to say that. So I just heard Spirit say it's do better, like do better, right? It's this sense of going to a higher, more profound, spiritually insightful place with your leadership. Like these two energies almost like really just contrast each other, right? I feel like with the Seven of Cups here, you really are thinking about like the different options, the different avenues, like how you can go about this. And so this is actually really confirming with what the archetype cards were saying, because Spirit's saying you're going to have to go to this place deep within to access the wisdom, to be able to make the right choice here, set your boundaries in the right places, step forward and light the way, right? Light the way. You're coming from a deeper place of wisdom. Crazy. But if this is someone else, like you're dealing with kind of an abusive leadership figure, an older male, it could be female too, but somebody who probably should have some wisdom, but has for whatever reason that's turned upside down for them, and maybe they're kind of not doing the right thing by their wisdom. Um, this is still about you going within and being able to, um, oh wow, light. It's like I just heard light the way for the group. This could literally be work for you if there's other people involved or like a family situation. But with the hermit, it's the sense of like people are going to be watching to see what you do. I don't know if you're an employer yourself and you have employees or people that you lead, but but Spirit is saying doing this from a place of wisdom. You could be like the I don't know why I just heard point person. You could be the point person or the person in the family, regardless of like where you are in your sibling set, or you could just be the person that generally is kind of leading here. But Spirit is like, why are they talking like that? It's like do better, do better. Um, it feels so direct. And usually that's how I get spoken to, but not for the reading. So I don't know, maybe this is something that is like you really need to hear. Okay, that makes me sweat a little, but let's go to the challenge. Yeah. Challenge is 8 of Wands in the upright and 8 of Swords. Okay. So there's probably a lot of information and being thrown at you in this situation, but the challenge is like don't allow the massive amount of information you're receiving, and you may just be like looking at all these things, right? You also may feel like things are really starting to pick up and you're needing to figure out what to do. Spirit is saying here with the 8 of Swords, it's like, sorry. So free your mind. Again, I always get that with the 8 of Swords, but it's like you might feel like your back is against the wall or your hands are tied. You might feel here like you're afraid of doing the wrong thing, and therefore you're the movement. The movement is not really there, but I honestly feel like if you stop, drop, and tune back in with your guides, or if you don't identify with working with your guides at this stage, you can, work with your higher self at the very minimum and quiet the noise and go, okay, regardless of what I see happening here in the physical, I know that I'm being instructed to transcend what I see in the physical to be able to receive the right answers about how to handle and deal in this situation. It definitely feels like somebody's like, I don't know if it's a group that you're leading. Let me see if any other clarification wants to come through with your challenge, but it is kind of like you're overthinking things, King of Swords, okay? That's the energy that I feel that Spirit wants you to channel through, is you're just going to have to be that clear communicator. This whole reading kind of feels like deja vu, but this is what Spirit wants you to know right now. It's like you're going to have to, once you get the inner know, and you may already have, okay, Spirit said you may already have the inner knowing. Yeah. In your gut, that wisdom through the hermit, it's like you're carrying it, aren't you? You already know, huh? You're going to have to speak your truth. You're going to have to come from kind of like, it almost feels like a more of this logical standpoint. When it's time to speak and it's time to say, okay, here's what's going to happen, here's what I've decided, I just feel like you're just going to have to say it. You're going to have to let them know, The challenge here, though, it's in your challenge position, the King of Swords. So I don't know if it's that you think you're going to come off too rigid or mean, or that people are going to see you that way. I'm telling you, this is a spiritual lesson, a spiritual test. They're going to be so thankful at the end of it, whether they can see it now or not. Okay, channel through the King of Swords. That's what I would do. Look up the King of Swords, channel through the King of Swords, or if you already know what the King of Swords represents, that's your position right now. Time to get out of your head, time to be the King of Swords, okay? Communication, decisiveness, being firm. Okay, let's see, what's the advice here? What's their advice, Spirit? All right, what do we have here? Yeah. I love this, honestly, for your advice. It's kind of straight to the point. You got the Judgment card. So in the Judgment card, you guys, it's like, you know how in the beginning when I was doing the archetype cards, I was saying embracing the light and the dark, right? There's nothing to hide anymore. It's this sense with the Judgment card that you don't have to hide behind your power. You know what I mean? You don't have to minimize your power. Why can't it be okay to say, you know what, I've learned a lot of lessons. I've made mistakes in my life. I've gone into the shadow attribute of some of these things. I've gone into the light attribute, and this is like your full circle moment. But it's the sense of like Spirit wants to bless you with the increase, like give you more. God wants to bring, universe wants some of these ultimate manifestations you've been believing for to come in. But part of allowing that and receiving that is like you have to know you're good enough. You have to know that you're here, you've arrived, you've done this certain amount of work, that you can show up as the hermit, you can light the way for other people. But if you're like second guessing it, it's this sense of like, how is it going to be brought to you if you are acting like, I don't know what to do with this? When I see the Judgment here, I'm of the mind that you do know what to do with this. I'm of the mind that you can step up to the plate. You can deal with all of them, right? The ones that you like to deal with, and then the ones that get on your nerves, are the ones that you're just like, why can't, oh, maybe that's who the do better was for. I kept hearing do better, do better. I'm like, is this for my collective who I'm reading for? But Spirit also said it's for these, it could be for you as well, but it's some of these people that you're dealing with, it's like you may be feeling in your heart, in your mind, they need to do better. But that is so interesting, that double meaning that's coming across now. It's like all the while you may be thinking, okay, they need to step it up. They need to do it. They need to do better, so that you don't feel so stressed out about how to navigate. But Spirit's saying, oh, I'm actually gifting you the opportunity to do better and to come up. So I don't know if you've seen that this spiritual lesson is an opportunity for you. But here in the Judgment card, it's this like, it's a full circle moment, you guys. I mean, it's profound. It's a full circle moment. Where's the card I'm looking for here that we pulled? The Messiah. That's kind of a big word, right? Serving humanity with humility. It's like, I feel like that's a next level up. You know how like on earlier stages of our path, when we're showing up in service, we may have all these varying reasons to like, oh, we're doing it for this, we're doing it for that. We want this in return. We want to be successful. We want to have money. We want all these things. But this is a sense of you stepping into this form of leadership from a much more spiritually profound place. The rewards and the abundance that you receive is multifaceted. It's not just money, or it's not clout. It's you can feel it on a deep spiritual level that you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? It's like you get a little jewel on your crown in heaven. It's like you really are being in the spirit realm. They're going, yes, yes. No more to hide. No more to hide behind. No more kind of shrinking this down. You've been you've been gifted this. Nope, it's not gifted. You've done the work. You've done the work here to arrive here at the Hermit. Will you step up to the plate and be the King of Swords in this situation? Will you speak on it? Ooh, I don't know. I got chills. Will you will you say what needs to be said and trust that you are doing what's in the greatest and highest good of all concerned in the situation? Okay, so that is the message. Amal, I believe in you. Just remember that whatever's happening in the physical in this situation, it is not more powerful, right, than how you're being guided in the spiritual. And if you can surrender to that guidance and put your faith in that guidance, when you get ready to execute in the throat chakra, you're being held the entire way. So whether it's work, whether it's with your family, whether it's in a love triangle, I don't know. I didn't see any lovers pop up here, but if that's the case, do what's in your intuition from that higher place, and don't worry about the rest. All right, you guys. I'm gonna leave the message there. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.